Hi guys, it's Belle here, and it is time for #CreepOnJune 2025, created by the lovely Tracy Fox. As always, in my description box below, you will be able to find links to her YouTube, Etsy and website. That is where you will also find links for the stunning Nevermore ledger kit that we are working with this month. And on her website, you will be able to go and find the calendar, where if you click on that day, it will take you straight to the very talented creator that is making something wondrous for the collaboration on that day. So please do go check that out. Show them lots of support and subscribe. You're going to get loads of inspiration. So yes, don't miss out on all of that inspiration, guys. Day 14. This is the base. I am loving this purple. There's not lots of purple in the kit, but I'm loving it, especially with this swirl. Love it. Anyway, we are going to go back, not quite to the beginning, but it's purple and I want it to fit in with the romantic one we did a few days ago, or my version of romantic that we did a few days ago. So in that tag, we saw Poe and his beloved. And then if you removed them, dun, 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 she was a skeleton underneath, like in a cameo. The die cut was like a cameo effect. And I thought today's tag, and we are going to do a tag with just the one flip, I think. But in today's tag, it's going to be just after his beloved has died. So that's where it fits in my head with the story. Now in reality, this already has a little bit of space to make it a flip, which is great, but I've just realized I probably cut the wrong one off. But I'm not going to do that because I want it on the front, and I also wanted to be able to see this beautiful tag. So we have that now. I'm just going to trim that off too. Okay, so we have our two tags. So now I can decide which one I really want to use. To be honest, most of it is going to be covered up. So I'm trying to work out mainly the top bit, which I like. I mean, this has more of the purple on it. So maybe that one. Do you know what? We'll see when we come to that bit. So the first thing I want to do is ink all these up in ground espresso. Where is it? And yes, we are going to be at Poe's home. His beloved is no longer there. He is deep, deep caught in his grief. Maybe it is the night before the funeral. That's what I think. He's not going to be able to sleep the night before the funeral, because obviously the first make was him at the graveyard, grieving and weeping, and his pain of his loss was so intense that it awoke the sleeper spirit to come and find out what was happening. So I feel like this is the night before the funeral, so that we get, he's still kind of at his house. And I want it to feel lonely and empty. So there's a great image in the kit of what could be Poe sitting by a window. It's quite a dark image. He's sitting on what looks like a windowsill looking out to the moon, and it definitely looks like a disheveled Poe rather than maybe one of the other people that I am populating my story with. But yeah, I think I like that one. But I feel like I want it to have that emptiness. So I picked this one. Firstly, it has lots of purple. We've had Van Helsing's Study. We have had Dr. Frankenstein's Study. Well, we haven't had Van Helsing's Study, but you know, we've been to Van Helsing's. So now what I think is that we need Poe's Study. Want it to feel empty without her, that he's just bereft, that he's just got all these lights and candles everywhere. He can't sleep. He's roaming the halls in agony, just looking for any sign that she might still be there, that she might still be around, calling her name in his sorrow. We're going to back it with some black card. That's what I feel like is happening with Poe at this instance. He's just, the house is empty and there's a storm outside, and he's just searching and crying and calling and trying to think that this isn't real, that it can't have happened. She can't be gone. He can't be burying her tomorrow. He's mistaken. He's going to walk into a room any moment and see her sitting there reading by the window, because this was her favourite place to sit, sitting and reading by the window, and she'll look up at him and smile and tell him something interesting she's just read about. And that's what he's thinking. But every room he walks into, it's nothing. It's just the ghost of his memories in there. He can't find her. He can still smell the perfume left over from the last time she wore it. And he keeps thinking every so often, was that a laugh? Did I hear her gentle laughter on the breeze? And then he'll run and try and catch it, but then it's gone. She's not there. He turns the corner. There's no laughter. It's all just in his imagination. And he is really struggling. So I've got some of this blue paper, so we're also going to trim some of this, and as always I'm going to trim it slightly smaller so that we have the black there. And yeah, he doesn't want to be without her, but he can't find her. So he keeps going back to her favourite bit where she loved to sit and read the book, the last book that she was in the middle of, still sitting on the table, unfinished. And he just keeps wandering back there, hoping that he will see her sitting. But alas, he does not. And his sorrow is just unbearable. And he's exhausting himself. That's all he can do. He hopes if he keeps on walking, that if he can't find her, at least he'll exhaust himself, because ever since she's been gone, every time he tries to sleep, she's there in his dreams, and he just can't rest. So that is what Poe is doing. That is where we are in his grief. Deep, deep in his grief, the night before the funeral, where he will meet the sleeper spirit and begin his journey that we have been following during this challenge so far. And we're only on day 14, almost halfway through, guys. So I mean, we're probably going to be revisiting certain spirits and people that we might have visited before, so I hope you don't find that boring. But the fact is, there's not going to be 30 different people. So we just have to you know, in the journal they're going to be more put together, sort of in one place, so then the story will make more sense, or at least I hope it does. Like that. Okay, so we have our base, and I don't want to start on the front one yet, or do I? Should we now start, after doing all that, should we now start on this one? This one is going to be a flip, and again we're going to have some paper on the back of here that I want Sorry, my glue book had fallen, so I had to pick that up. So yes, we will be revisiting certain people. I don't even know. I don't plan what I'm making all the way through. What I tend to do is that I tend to just grab sort of the next 3 days sometimes, and I will then sort of very roughly, I'll cut those out, those pieces of ephemera, and then I will kind of very roughly pick the images to go with it and think about what the inspiration is for those images. But I don't actually plan everything at all, so I don't even know what some of the ephemera, the bases are that are coming up, because I haven't, obviously I looked at them when I printed them out, but that's just printing them out. I haven't actually looked through them all and thought, oh, that's a tag, that's this, and therefore I'll make this and this and this. That's not kind of how I work. I like to almost surprise myself, which I know sounds strange, but that's kind of what I like to do. Also, it would be too much for my head if I was planning every piece that I was making in advance. So I haven't even cut out all the bases. I only cut them out when I know I'm going to be making a video for them soon. This way, I think. Okay, now I'm not sure this is going to be in here. I mean, we could have it that big. Yeah, we can have it that big. I am going to probably use, as I've done a few others, some fabric to actually, what's the word, as a hinge. Although now thinking about it, because I want to do on the front, that might not, it might not work. I wonder if, let's have some of this. This is so beautiful, this paper. I think I'm going to use that on the front too. I need to think about how I'm going to work the hinge. I do need to think about that. Actually, I don't think it matters because I've got quite thin lace that can work as a hinge. This is some Tim Holtz paper. I'm not sure what pad it's from. As I said, I am being very good and actually using my paper up. Thing is, a lot of this is going to be covered up too. So you may ask, so why are you doing it then, Belle? Just because. Is that not straight? Have I not cut that straight? Let me check. There's a high probability that I haven't, so let's just double check. Okay, just a little bit needed taking off. So we're going to go here. And I need to think about how far up I want it. Possibly to about here. So it's not the easiest to see, but I can just about see it. So I'm going to cut this way first. And I just wanted to say a quick hello to all of my new subscribers. Welcome. I appreciate all of you. Now, whether you've been with me from the start or whether you are new, you are all welcome here. I'm just always amazed that so many people seem to enjoy my complete crafting kind of chaos and quirks. The quirks in particular. So thank you all so much. Right, now what I want to do is I've got this embossed piece. This is a Sizzix Texture Fades. It's a Tim Holtz embossing folder. I don't know if you can still get this. I have had this probably 4 or 5 years, maybe even longer. It is 662390. It is called Skull Damask. and it goes really well with the kit. So I am going to come on and I'm going to cut this out, but what I am going to do is actually make it smaller. So we're just going to cut it out first, and then I'm going to make it smaller. So I'm going to cut to possibly about there. And so we are going to lose some of that beautiful paper. But again, I'm just trying to use papers. I'm trying not to hoard these beautiful Tim Holtz papers that I have, and just use them in my makes. And they go so well with this kit. So there we have that, as that's smaller than this. Do you know what? We can trim that even more. So let's do it. I really want the skull to be as central as possible, which, considering I can't cut very straight, may not be as central as I hope. Let's have a look. Again, if you're new to crafting, there's always new people coming, always just do a little slither at a time when you're trimming, because you can always take off more, but it can be difficult to fix it if you take off too much. It's still fixable, guys, because I definitely have done that, but I'm just saying it's easier if you do it the other way. Now, this is going to be a flip. That's what this is going to be. So it's going to be a pocket, but it's also going to be a flip. I really do want to stitch around that, which will mean that we will see it through the paper. I don't think I mind that at all. Which way do I want it? Let's do it this way. It's got some purple on that side, so let's do it this way. Let's do it at the top. There we go. That's the right way. Sometimes I just have to remind myself which way around things are. So, yes. Now, I do, like I said before, enjoy Poe, but one of the things I'm really enjoying about this kit is less the Poe. I mean, he's kind of a stand-in for, it could be anyone you wanted to create this for. Anyone at all. It doesn't have to be Poe that the story revolves around. But obviously this is the Nevermore Ledger kit, and we have some of the Poe pieces. Why won't my lid go on my glue? So obviously I'm doing Poe. But again, this story I could take Poe out of it, still have ravens, because why not? And think about someone else instead. But we are doing Poe, so that is what we are doing. The Wonderful Poe. And again, thank you all for so many really uplifting comments, guys. They really do make my day when I read them. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you being kind and loving the storytelling. I mean, I feel like this storytelling is a bit all over the place because it's not cohesive yet, as it will be. I will be doing a video once I finish the journal, which will probably it'll probably be in the first kind of week of July that video goes up, because I'm not going to put any of the pieces in until the end of Creep on June, just because I normally do just realized I didn't put a magnet in there. That's okay, we can fix that. I normally do a flip through of all my makes when I take part in a challenge. Also need to remember that they need to go quite far in the magnets this time because of the stitching. So it needs to go quite far in. But yes, I normally do a flip through of all my finished pieces. Come on, glue. And so I will have to film that first, then put everything into the journal and then do any finishing touches to the journal that seem fitting now that the pieces are in. But I will do, I don't know, I'm thinking of doing possibly 2 videos for that. I don't know. I'm going to think about it. That still might be too high. I really don't want to catch this on the... I suppose I could try a straight stitch around it, even though my straight stitch is playing me up. Because I want to obviously do one with the story. But also I don't know if that will take up too much of the video, whilst also trying to explain what I've done or show you the make, if that makes sense. I don't know. I'll work that out. That is a problem for later, Belle, or future Belle, not me now. So I'll work that out anyway. And I still have to make a few bits and pieces, such as the letter to Dr. Frankenstein and things like that. I still have to write those. Okay, that's there. And what I now want to do is I am going to go and I was going to go stitch around it. Yeah, we'll do the stitching. I'm going to go stitch around this and hope that my needle does not break on the magnet. So what I ended up doing, because I was a bit worried about my needle and the magnet, is that I ended up making this bit. I stitched across here first, then stitched it onto the paper, and I've made this an extra pocket. It just means I don't have to worry about that. Let me zoom you in. I wanted to zoom you in because I still need to remember about the magnet. I'm going to put one on the back because knowing me, I will forget about the magnet. What I want to do now is I want to bring in my paste. So I have the wax paste. It is in violet. It is the Pentari Chameleon paste, so that they change colour, and my Art Alchemy Vintage Gold as well. I'm going to come on first with my violet paste. Oh my goodness, look at that. Oh, I love it so much. That's why I love gilding paste. Gilding paste and embossing folders. Oh my goodness, I just love them so much. I don't use them as much. I used to use them all the time. I think I just sometimes forget about them. Maybe I need to pre-make some, or at least have some pre-embossed, so that they're ready for when I do want to look. And then let's come on with this, which I'm going to have to use my finger because it's so old. I am wondering about adding some water to it to see if it helps reactivate it. Oh, the gold on the teeth down there, love that. Just in places, I don't want it everywhere. Just want it in some places. This almost reminds me of a beautiful etching on a crypt door or on a tombstone. That's what that reminds me of. So I thought that would work. Let me zoom you out a little. So now we have that, and we are going to bring back, this is going to, oh my gosh, I love it so much. I'm just like so excited. Oh, what was that movie? What was it? It was, oh, I cannot remember what the movie was called now. It was an animated kids movie, and for some reason I can't remember the name of it, even though there's been like 3. It had the Minions in it, and there's the little girl in the first one where he takes her to the fairground. He takes her to the fairground and she gets all excited and he wins her, I think it's a big fluffy unicorn, and she's just like, it's so fluffy, and she gets so overexcited. That's kind of me when with crafting sometimes, but instead of fluffy I just want to go, oh, it's so yummy. I'm going to put some washi over this because things are going to go in and out of it, which is making me worry that actually was something in this pocket. Because my magnets, I used to have magnets that were super, super strong, little ones. And then I brought these ones. Is that going to stick on there? It is, but will it stick on there with something in it? Let's find out. And then I brought these ones and they just, okay, it does. They're just not so strong as those other ones, even though I'm sure they're from the same manufacturer. I don't know. Anyway, yes, so that's how I feel sometimes when I'm crafting. Instead of it's so fluffy, I just want to go, it's so yummy. I get that excitable with it. But if you're not enjoying it, if you're not enjoying your hobby, then why are you doing it? That's what I want to know. So I think, yep. Stuck on there. Oh my goodness me. Now I know you're probably thinking, but Belle, you haven't put the hinge on yet. That's okay. That is actually okay because I know what I'm doing with that, so it will work. I need to be able to sure. Yep, that opens. Just make sure if you are putting pockets on that they do open over the hinge here, because if they don't, what's the point of having the flip? I love it. Perfect. Oh, listen, isn't that just joyous? I don't know, I find it joyous. Okay, so for now we're going to put this to one side and we're going to start working on the big tag here. Okay, so we have our image. Just going to go here like so, and I think I'm going to bring in some vintage book page like so. And then we're just going to decorate this up. I was thinking about having it as a top loading pocket, but we're also going to have lace on top. So I don't know if realistically that would work. And we've got a couple of pockets on the front, so we don't need to get, what's the word? We don't need to get too silly about the pockets. No, that's not the word I'm on. Greedy. We don't need to get greedy with too many pockets. That's what I wanted to say. I don't know, guys. It's been a long couple of days. So yeah, I'm thinking of bringing in some book page. We are in a library and it's Poe, so why not? I've even got, do you see this little image? It's a Tim Holtz image. I realised I didn't have a single image of Poe in here. Now obviously that's Poe, but still, whoever buys this journal, if they don't like Poe, they can always pretend it's someone else. That's the way I feel about things. But we're going to have at least one image of Poe in here. Do, 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 do. I mean, obviously on the other tag where it's him and his beloved, I just think he doesn't look like Poe at all. Or maybe he looks like a really young Poe. But he doesn't feel very Poe-esque. But, you know. I'm wondering, because that's going to be here. So I feel like we could have this down a little bit. Yep, we can. We can have that down a little bit. I'm still debating, guys. I'm still debating. You know I am, whether I'm going to turn this into a pocket of some sort. Do I want it to be a top pocket? Let's do what I always say, which is let's put it on as a pocket, and then if we don't use it as that, that's okay. It doesn't really matter because we've got the option. So always believe in giving yourself the option. It's not difficult to come back afterwards and glue it back down if you want to, but why not have the option? Because it's a lot harder to come back, rip it all off and redo it if you suddenly decide you do want a pocket there. So let's do that. Okay, let's get to decorating. Oh, do you know what I wanted to do in the background and I didn't? Okay, we can still do this. It is okay. What did I just say about things being more difficult if you don't do them? Is I wanted to come on with some... These are from the entomology kit. They could be butterflies, they could be moths. You can decide. But I want to come on with these, and I want to do some interest in the background. Oh my gosh. I really need to get my stamps to stick again because they just won't. Okay, let's push this down and hope that it stays on. Stays on. Sorry, makes me laugh because it reminds me of the ink pad that we use. I know, it's silly. But with the world the way it is, it's fun just to be able to have a little bit of a laugh now and again, even if you're laughing at yourself. I'm going to have one coming out of here too. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is, firstly, I don't know how good an imprint that is, but I am going to probably with these use the Hickory Smoke embossing glaze TDE 70993. So I'm probably going to use that for these, because I want them to stand out a little bit. Again, I don't know how good the impression is. Oh, apparently not good at all because I haven't got any on there. Okay, that is interesting. That is very interesting. Did I get any on here? Only faintly. All right, let's do that again. Okay, so we're at the second time. Maybe I just didn't press down as well, and I ended up deciding to go over the pocket actually. It's not stuck, so yeah, and we have one on there. I don't know why I didn't want to begin with. These things happen. I'm also going to bring in my script stamp again from the Entomology Tim Holt kit with vintage sepia, and I'm just going to come on and kind of have it again in the background of these pieces. I might even come on and do a little bit on here. Okay, good. Oh, and the background actually while we're at it. Might also do some moths on there. Okay, so we now have this. Let me bring that up so you can see the background. Even on here, can you see it on here? Yeah. Okay, so we have all that. Let's get to decorating a bit more. So I have some of my flowers that I die cut out. They are very purple, but I feel like I want quite a bit of purple in here. Again, I think I've said it in other videos, but I don't mind sometimes if pieces blend into the background. That's not a problem for me. We are going to have Poe. This is too big, because I feel like it just gives texture and added interest, and it means you have to pick a piece up and really sometimes carefully look at it, and then find more things. It's like a little hidden secret sometimes, which is why I think I like hidden pockets. My sister once said that she feels like all the hidden pockets and things that I put remind her of secret passages in old houses. So that's, I'd never thought of it like that, but it's that kind of what's over here, and not every pocket is hidden, but you know, you're looking to see, oh, is there a flip here? Is there a pocket here? Is there a tuck? It just makes the whole piece interactive and fun. Well, for me it does. I don't know, you guys might not agree. But it's why I like doing it. I think I want Poe underneath. So if this is where I want Poe, I just thought of something. Do I want to stitch a little bit of... no. So let's put Poe down. Wandering back in and out of this library where they shared so many evenings together. Him and his beloved. And again, I think I said in another video, I know her name now is Virginia Eliza, but I like to think of her as his Ginny. So him going in and out. Let's use this stamp again on here. Looking for her in their library. And I'm guessing over in a corner would be some work that he has been working on, like a new book or some new poems, and he just can't bring himself to complete it. He doesn't know if he's ever going to read or write again, but he's got all these ideas. His grief and his sorrow is sparing on his imagination, but picking a pen up to write it down is causing him so much pain, because he just keeps wanting to find her and say, oh, I've just written this, or what do you think about this? And she's not there. So the thing he loved most other than her in the world, his writing, has now become a painful reminder, but almost necessary for his process, his grieving process. I also think I want a moth right down the bottom. I picked one out that had this kind of red in it. It's like a purpley red to pick up the colours. And again, you may be new here, so hello, welcome. But I was always raised being told that moths are the souls of those who have passed on, coming to visit with us. So that's why I like to add moths to these. I also had, guys, so we're going to see how we feel about this. We will see. I have the candles again that I've used on some of the other cards. I love this die so much. I'm so glad I remembered that I had it. Because sometimes you just forget. It would even go on the front of there. Maybe, we'll see. I don't know, maybe not. Okay, we have the crow, or we have some gravestones, because we're talking about her passing. I don't think I want any of them. Yeah, I don't think I want any. I might want another little plant or something just up there. So let's have a look at what we've got that could work. I do like the sticks. I need to die cut some of the bigger sticks again, because I have run out of those. I do like that. I do. Do I like that more? No, I think I like this one more. So we can come on with one of the sticks too. Yeah. So yes, I was raised to believe that moths are the spirits of the dead come back to visit. So you do not kill them. You would think, being told that, especially in Ireland, where we still believe that the Fae, many of us, let me rephrase that, Many of us, certainly how I was raised, is that you still believe that the fae abound. They are real. Do not annoy them. You'd think really it would have made me feel more creeped out by moths, because I know a lot of people are. A lot of people struggle with moths and butterflies. But no, it didn't for some reason. It didn't bother me. I want to use the moth because we've used it on a few other bits. And in my head, there's moths floating about in this library while he is searching. Oh, I feel so sorry for him. These ones make me sad. I'd rather be dealing with the witches and the and Frankenstein and Dracula. These ones about Poe just make me so sad. So I'm hoping whatever the tag or base is for the make for the next days, which I haven't looked at yet, I'm hoping that one is not one that's going to inspire me to work with the concept of Poe and his beloved. I mean, we could bring the raven in. Do you prefer the raven to the moth? I do kind of love the moth. That's why I put the others on there. We get that up the end. Then we could have the raven. Do you know what? I'm going to go moth. That's what I'm going to do. I am going to go moth, and now I'm wondering about bringing in some thread for the moth, maybe. Oh, do you know what else I have? Sorry, I got distracted. I saw something. I have some more brickwork left over. And if we are in his house, what would that look like, guys? What would that look like? I don't think I want it because I want this to be able to close easier. So we're not going to go for that. And I don't think I am going to add some thread to the moth. I could have made the moth a pocket. Oh, I could have made the moth a pocket. Sorry. I'm just getting all the glue off my moth. After saying, no, let's not do too many pockets. Honestly, guys, I have a problem. If it can be a pocket, I want it to be a pocket sometimes. And my glue dries clear, so I know that even though you can see it right now, you won't be able to see it once it dries. Okay, that's going to be a pocket too that I can put something into. Brilliant. That is that bit done. Now, let's go back to this. I want this to be hinged. So I have some of this lace, which I have used on other pieces. So we could use some of this. I'm trying to think about how big. I wish I could find, there's the end. I was like, I wish I could find the end. Oh, there it is. It was there all along, Belle. What are you talking about? And let's open this up. And really, it's going to have to be a hinge that's only this big. Unless will that work to that? I wanted it all the way up. What I might have to do is glue that bit down because I want that more stable. Rip a bit more here so it looks really as if it's meant to be. Again, see, there's usually a solution, guys. There's usually a solution. Sometimes not, but often you can find one. I just want that glued there. And if I have to rip this, there we go. I will do. Okay, all right. Because I do want this coming up a bit more, I think. It's too long there, but if I cut it, and then I am going to go and stitch this on. I'm putting the flowers on the inside of here just because it's less bulk, and then the bigger bit will go around the back of the tag. Okay guys, so there we go, that's stitched through. And because when I had to stitch through, I stitched through this side, I then came on the second bit of stitching. It works well for me. I like extra stitching in places. It's just a thing I enjoy. And what I'm wondering about now is, where are they? Is bringing in some of the Tim Holtz tape. Just because, let's hope I can get a piece off, because sometimes they're a little bit stubborn. Okay, that one came off really well. Thank you. I feel like something moved there. Is everything okay? I just want to bring on a little bit in places, just to give us, again, a bit of extra dimension and colour to bits, like that. And then maybe in here somewhere, maybe on Poe himself. So it would be kind of, that's too long. It would be kind of on him. And then maybe, where do I want it? Down here. Just a little bit of interest on those. Now, obviously, we've got double pockets, but there's only one pocket maybe that I want to fill. And that is with this. This again is another Tim Holtz piece. But I feel like this is what's haunting him in his mind. He's trying desperately to find the ghost of her. And this is her like in her burial outfit. But he's imagining her haunting the home. And I am hoping, why won't that, sorry, hold on, threads. I am hoping that this will fit in here. She does. She's too perfect though. We need to do something about that. We cannot have perfection. And so I am going to back her. Okay, so there we have her, and she is now backed, and she will fit into here because obviously this is all about her, like so. She definitely needs some black lace or something on there. And I'm also wondering about if I would be able to hold up. I have a little flower, just wondering if it would fit in here and what that would look like. You'd only see it behind her. I'm not sure it would work actually. I could put a feather in there, like when I'm filling this with ephemera for the journal. That'll work. That's what I'm looking for, unless I want it on her. Do I want it on her? Oh, it'd be pretty on her too, wouldn't it? Okay, let's put it on her instead. Yes. Where am I looking for my glue? I feel like since she's passed, Poe has been inundated with visitors. All of them friends of Virginia. Because in my mind, I'm not sure how real this was in reality, but we're not doing reality. This is my story. In my mind, she is beloved by many, many people. And she is fun and gregarious and all of that. And in fact, everyone was absolutely shocked when they found out that she was marrying Poe, because he's the bit of the weird person. And they were all like, he does not seem as if the two of you work. And so they would say that to her all the time. And she would just smile. she would just smile and say, you don't know him the way I know him. Come on, little birdie, little crow. That's what she would say. So he's been inundated with visitors since she departed, and he just keeps shutting the door on them, and they're all getting a bit worried about him, but also they're all thinking there really is only so much we can do, because we didn't really like him in the first place, or not liked him, just that he was a bit unusual, so they didn't really know what to make of him in the first place. And now, since she has passed away, they really don't know what to make of him. Loved and lost. We could put that on here. Put it over to the side. Loved and lost. Or we could actually have it at the top of here. Kind of like it up there. I mean, it also does work well on her. Oh, I wish I could hear you guys. I know I keep saying that lately, but let's put it on there instead. So yeah, they've got to the point where they're just like, we're looking forward to the funeral being over. We'll pop in on him a little bit because that's what Virginia would have wanted, but he is strange and we do not know what to make of him. And I also have this word. These are Release the Craftings, which I think is on their Patreon. So I do have them, the Poe related words. And it says the haunted place. And that is what this place has become for him. Palace, the haunted palace, not place. But, oh, learn to read, Belle. The haunted palace. But you know what I mean? It's the haunted, like the place. Or the haunted. Should we just have the haunted? Because he's haunted. Ah, yes, that works better in my head. Oh, thank you all so much for saying that you really enjoy my storytelling and things like that, and that I should think about writing a book. I really don't think so. I am not that talented, guys. But thank you for the kind thought and the supportive message. But no, I'm not that talented to be able to write, guys, at all. I used to write little stories when I was a kid, but I am not a writer. They are so talented writers, and yeah, I'm just not that capable. But thank you again for being so sweet and kind. I appreciate it. I just love stories. I love to read. And I love, if I'm going to watch things and that, I often love them to have a good story, great characters, you know, TV shows and things like that. I just love them. I love fairy tales. I've read my whole life. It's one of the things I remember most about my childhood. Was one of my earliest memories was books. I just love them so much. I'm going to go and stitch that on there. I was hoping, I have this little smidge of purple. Might be too much. Literally the tiniest slither. So tiny, it wandered off and fell. Okay, let me go stitch that on. And I think I'm also going to put some fabric on the top of here. Okay, so you can see I've stitched. I've used the same black lace that I think I used on the other one because it kind of ties the pieces together. And added some purple and stuff on there, and then I added some on to her, and then I also just went on with a little bit of stamping with whatever was left on my need to fix that little raven's tail. Oh my gosh, look at the purple on that. So last thing we need, no surprise, is I want some black splatter, and I also think I want a little bit of gold splatter as well. So let me grab it. So I splattered that, guys. I used the Newton Windsor gold ink, and I also used it in the black as well. And I just wanted to bring on that little bit of gold because we've got it in this too. And I've even splattered over this. Can you see? Doesn't it just add more dimension? Oh, there's so much grunge on here. when it's too much, too much. And there we go on the beautiful Virginia as well. So she can go into her pocket. We do need to stick that little crow's tail down quite well. But she can go into her pocket. And obviously we've got writing space, a flip. And then let's not, yep, that is holding. Let's not forget we have a pocket right here at the front as well. I think it's that. Was it that? As well. And we've got her behind, and then we can write on there. Then we've got a top loading pocket here, which I may put something into. And then we've got a little pocket just down there that we can fit something. Oh, I thought I had actually a little journal. Thinking about it. Okay, I cannot find it right now, but when I do, I think that's what's going to go in here, like a little journal because of Poe's writing. And then, like I said, we've got a top pocket there. We've got decoration. Let me bring that right up so you can get some of the details with the splatter on the plants, with the writing, obviously the ink and the embossing on here, lots and lots of stitching. And then, yeah, the pocket there. And then we have this on the back, which I definitely need to add something. I'm even thinking of just adding a giant feather like so. I think that would look really lovely. But that's it for now, guys. What do you think? I really like this. I do. And obviously we see Virginia. This can be like a tombstone, the etching that's going to be on the crypt. We've got these pops of purple, gold, and black, and just little pops of green here and there. Even the tape kind of pulls in this gold colour. I think so. And yeah, that is it. It is magnetised. It will, well, that bit won't stay because that isn't magnetised. But I don't know if I want a ribbon around this, like a really thin black ribbon, I think would work really, really well. So we'll see. We'll see how it ends up once it is in its home in the journal. That's it for now, guys. Please do like, subscribe, and comment and share if you haven't already. Don't forget to head over to the creator who is doing their make for this day in the collaboration. My day is coming up soon. So please do hit that bell, that subscribe button, so that you don't miss out on that. As always, my brain's gone maybe somewhere a bit differently, but we'll see. You'll see when you see it. And that's it for now. I'll be back again with another I'll be back again with another video soon. Until next time, guys, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having lots and lots of creepy, crafty fun. Bye for now.